In the heart of the serene Eldoria village, where cobblestone paths wound between quaint cottages and blooming gardens, lived a girl named Aria. With her unruly chestnut hair and bright green eyes, Aria was known throughout the village for her adventurous spirit and insatiable curiosity. Her days were often spent exploring the nearby woods, climbing trees, and imagining herself in distant lands filled with magic and mystery. One warm summer's evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast a golden glow over the village, Aria sat in her grandmother's attic. This attic was her favorite place, a treasure trove of old books, mysterious trinkets, and forgotten memories. As she rummaged through an old chest, her fingers brushed against a worn leather-bound book. Intrigued, she carefully opened it, revealing pages filled with intricate drawings and strange symbols. Her eyes widened in amazement as she realized it was an ancient map. "The Crystal Caverns," she whispered, tracing the faded lines with her finger. Legends spoke of these caverns, hidden deep within the mountains, filled with crystals that possessed extraordinary powers. The map detailed a path through dangerous terrains and cryptic instructions, but Aria felt a surge of excitement. She knew this was the adventure she had been waiting for. The following morning, Eldoria was in turmoil. A mysterious illness had spread through the village, leaving many bedridden and weak. The village healer was at a loss, unable to find a cure. Aria's heart ached seeing her friends and family suffer, and she remembered the map she had discovered. The legend of the Crystal Caverns spoke of a crystal with healing properties that could cure any ailment. Determined to help her village, Aria made up her mind. She would find the Crystal Caverns and retrieve the magical crystal. She packed a small bag with essentials, her grandmother's compass, a sturdy rope, some dried food, and a flask of water. As she prepared to leave, her grandmother approached her, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Aria, my dear, this journey will be perilous. You must be careful," she said, her eyes filled with both worry and pride. "I promise, Grandma. I'll bring back the crystal and save everyone," Aria replied with unwavering determination. Aria set out early, the morning mist still clinging to the ground. She followed the map's directions, leading her to the edge of the Whispering Woods. These woods were known for their eerie ambience and the soft whispers that seemed to come from the trees themselves. As she entered, the whispers grew louder, filling her mind with doubt and fear. But Aria pressed on, reminding herself of the village and the lives depending on her. Halfway through the woods, she encountered her first challenge. A wide river blocked her path, its waters swift and treacherous. She noticed a fallen tree that formed a natural bridge. With cautious steps, she began to cross, balancing carefully on the slippery wood. Midway, the whispers intensified, trying to shake her concentration. She paused, took a deep breath, and focused on her goal. Slowly but surely, she made it across. On the other side, she met a wise old owl named Orion perched on a branch. "I have been waiting for you, Aria," Orion said, his voice deep and soothing. "The Crystal Caverns are not far, but you will need my guidance to navigate the trials ahead." Aria nodded, grateful for the companionship. "Thank you, Orion. Let's find those crystals together." With Orion by her side, Aria's confidence grew. The map led them to a rocky terrain known as the Echoing Stones. The stones formed a labyrinth, and every sound echoed back tenfold, creating a confusing cacophony. As they entered, the ground trembled, and the rocks shifted, altering their path. "We must be cautious," Orion advised. "The stones have a mind of their own. They can deceive us." Aria and Orion moved carefully, their footsteps echoing in the stillness. At one point, they encountered a massive stone door with intricate carvings. It was a riddle, and Aria knew she had to solve it to proceed. "To enter, speak the truth that lies within," the door whispered. Aria pondered for a moment, then spoke, "I seek the crystal to save my village, driven by love and hope." The door creaked open, revealing a hidden passage. They continued their journey, the path becoming more treacherous with each step. At the labyrinth's center, they found a small clearing with a shimmering pool. The reflection showed a different path than what was in front of them. "Follow the reflection, not the path," Orion said, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. Trusting the owl's guidance, Aria followed the reflection, which led them out of the labyrinth and to the foot of the mountains where the Crystal Caverns awaited. As they approached the mountains, Aria felt a sense of awe. The entrance to the Crystal Caverns was a majestic archway adorned with sparkling crystals. However, before they could enter, a large shadow loomed over them. A majestic dragon with scales that glistened like gemstones emerged from the shadows. "I am Seraphina, the guardian of the caverns," the dragon spoke, her voice resonating with authority. "Only those pure of heart may enter." Aria stepped forward, her voice steady. "I seek the healing crystal to save my village. My intentions are pure." Seraphina studied Aria, her piercing eyes seeming to see into her very soul. After a moment, the dragon nodded. "I believe in your sincerity, young one. You may enter, but beware, the caverns test your resolve." With Seraphina's blessing, Aria and Orion entered the Crystal Caverns. The air inside was cool and filled with a soft, glowing light emanating from the crystals embedded in the walls. The path ahead was clear, but Aria knew that challenges lay in wait. Deep within the caverns, Aria encountered the maze of reflections. The walls were covered in mirrors, each reflecting different parts of the cavern. As she walked, she saw multiple versions of herself, some confident and others filled with doubt. It was disorienting and made it difficult to find the correct path. "Focus on your true self," Orion advised. "Only then will you find the way." Aria took a deep breath and closed her eyes, centering herself. She thought about her village, her friends, and her family. She thought about why she had embarked on this journey and the love that fueled her determination. Opening her eyes, she saw a single path reflected clearly among the distorted images. Following the true reflection, they navigated through the maze, emerging on the other side. Aria felt a sense of accomplishment but knew the journey was far from over. The next challenge was the Chamber of Echoes. The chamber was vast, and every sound reverberated endlessly. At the center stood a pedestal with a glowing crystal, but it was protected by an invisible barrier. To retrieve the crystal, you must silence the echoes, a voice boomed, its source unseen. Aria pondered how to silence something so pervasive. She noticed that whenever she moved or spoke, the echoes grew louder. She realized that silence might be the key. She motioned to Orion to remain still and quiet. They stood in complete silence, and gradually, the echoes began to fade. As the chamber grew silent, the barrier around the crystal disappeared. Aria carefully took the glowing crystal from the pedestal, feeling its warmth and energy. She knew this was the crystal that could save her village. With the crystal in hand, Aria and Orion began their journey back to Eldoria. The challenges they had faced seemed less daunting now, as if the caverns respected their resolve and granted them a safe passage. As they exited the caverns, Seraphina appeared once more. "You have proven your worth, Aria. The crystal's power is now yours to wield. Use it wisely, the dragon said,